birthday, Miss Slenczynska. Well, good afternoon, and welcome to the Ruth Slenczynska Centennial Celebration Concert. My name is Randy Pembrook, and I have the great privilege and honor of providing some introductory remarks for this final, culminating event of the Slenczynska Symposium. So thank you for being here today. There are many wonderful artists currently backstage or in the audience who will be performing this afternoon, and you'll hear from them in just a moment. But first, we have a task. Whether you are a performer, a student, a guest, a faculty member, each of you have a role to play at this time because we are all going to send Miss Slenczynska a 100th year greeting. Now, this is how it works. If you see the balcony in the back, you see the exit sign right above there. There is a camera. And so, yes, on the right-hand side, above the stairs, there's a camera. And what we're going to do is we're all going to wave. We're all going to, let's practice waving. Here we go. Oh, we can do better than that. That's good. That's good. And I'm going to say 1, 2, 3. And when I say 3, we're all going to say, Happy 100th, Miss Slenczynska. Are we ready? Let's get the waving going. 1, 2, 3. Happy 100th, Miss Slenczynska. All right. Miss Slenczynska, I hope you enjoyed hearing that greeting. We will work on our timing, our balance, our timbre, and get back to you again for your 101st birthday. As some of you know, I had the privilege of serving for a period as chancellor at SIUE, and in that capacity, I was often asked, what is the most important thing SIUE is known for? That answer is easier than you might think. The answer? The accomplishments of its faculty, its staff, its students, and its alumni. And in 1964, less than a decade into its existence, for SIUE to hire an artist in residence who studied with Rachmaninoff, performed regularly with major European and American symphonies, appeared at the White House for multiple presidents, and interacted with colleagues such as Vladimir Horowitz, that was a key to establishing this university's foundation, particularly in the arts. I don't think I fully understood that in the 1970s when I was a student here, fresh off a Greene County farm. But 10 years later, when I was doing doctoral work at Florida State University, it became more apparent to me. Those of you who have corresponded with Miss Slenczynska know that she is faithful to respond. Once, when I went to my campus mailbox in Tallahassee to get my mail, I looked at the contents, and there was a postcard from Miss Slenczynska with her distinctive return address and handwriting on the corner. It happened to be on the top of my mail, and a GTA friend of mine standing next to me looked at it, and I kid you not, she hollered, "You know Ruth Slenczynska?" It was like knowing a rock star, or an opera star, or one of the greatest musicians of the 20th, 21st century. Miss Slenczynska brought gravitas to SIUE then and now. Many of us in this room are privileged to work with her, study with her, make music with her, hear her tell stories, which, as I recall, we were always begging for, about some of the biggest names in the history of classical music. We wanted to hear her perform in our lessons and classes. Today, we gather to honor her 100th birthday with some of our music. Fine arts social science librarian Therese Dickman, who has helped put so much of the symposium together. And by the way, let's give her a hand. I don't know where she is, but thank you, Therese. She asked me to share what it was like studying with Miss Slenczynska. We heard lots of stories last night at a gathering, and we all have many more we could tell. But I will focus on one thing she tried to instill in us, and that is excellence. She always pursues excellence and strongly encourages her students to do likewise. To paraphrase her, why do something in a satisfactory fashion when excellence is possible with just a little more work, a little more time, a little more separate hands practice, with a metronome, of course. Miss Slenczynska, you have been a blessing to all of us. We hope that these pieces we perform today will both bless and honor you. And now it gives me great pleasure to introduce the Dean of the College of Arts and Sciences, Kevin Leonard.
Good afternoon. As Randy said, I'm Kevin Leonard, the Dean of the College of Arts and Sciences. And on behalf of Chancellor James T. Minor, Denise Cobb, the Provost and Vice Chancellor for Academic Affairs, and the College of Arts and Sciences, it is my great pleasure to welcome all of you to the campus of Southern Illinois University, Edwardsville. I want to extend a special welcome to today's performers and all other alumni of the Department of Music. We are justifiably proud of the music department at SIUE, and we are always excited when our alumni return to campus. Thank you for joining us today. I also want to thank the members of the Slenczynska Centennial Celebration event planning team, whose names are listed at the top of the back cover of the program, and I'll call them out. I've had a lot of interaction as this event was coming together with Marc Schapman, the chair of the Department of Music, with Therese Dickman, the fine arts librarian. I haven't had as much conversation with Alan Ho, professor emeritus of music, or with Angela Kim, associate professor of piano and director of the keyboard area, but I know all of them put in tremendous effort and many hours to make this program to come together, and I'm really thrilled that you get to benefit from the hard work that they did. So if I can take a few minutes here, I know most people don't come to an event like this to listen to a dean talk. So I will be brief, but I just want to say that when I became the dean of the College of Arts and Sciences in 2020, I didn't realize that Ruth Slenczynska had taught at SIUE for many years. But I knew who she was. My mother, for many, many years, she's retired now, but for many years she taught piano in my hometown of Casper, Wyoming. And I remember at one point when I was in high school, she went away to the annual Wyoming Music Teachers Association convention, which happened to be in Cheyenne that year. The year was 1979. And she came back and she told me these stories about what it was like to see Ruth Slenczynska play. Ruth was the clinician that year, and my mother was really impressed watching her play the piano, listening to her, and then also seeing her work with students. So I did not have that experience, but I always remembered my mother telling me about her experience there. The next year, I actually did get to play at the state convention. I don't even remember who the clinician was, but I always remembered Ruth Slenczynska's name, and I was always aware of her career. And then when I showed up here and I realized that she had been on the faculty for many years, it was a point of connection that really is meaningful to me. In fact, I talked to my mother this morning, and she was looking through her collection of memorabilia and recalling her experience of actually having met Ruth Slenczynska and getting to benefit from her wisdom. So it's a great honor for me personally to be here to pay tribute to Ruth Slenczynska. I'm really glad that all of you are here, and I want to thank you for being here, and I know that you will enjoy this wonderful program. And now for some final comments, it's my honor to introduce Therese Dickman.
Hello, everyone. Welcome. It's exciting to see this actually come to be today. About a year ago, we were talking about the fact that this would be Ruth's 100th birth year, and so we started planning. And on behalf of Library Information Services and Dean Marley Grazier, and all of our sponsors, including the graduate school, welcome. I think you're in for a treat today. A number of Ruth's former students, as well as some SIUE faculty and a high school student, will be performing for you today. There were others who wanted to perform, and we just could not accommodate everyone. So, but we are celebrating her and her legacy, and I'll keep it short. I have my stories as well. We had a fun evening last night sharing some of those stories, and you'll be able to see some images of Ruth again. And but for the time being, sit back, enjoy. We are going to start with Ruth in a recording that she made of the Schumann Widmung, which means dedication. She played this as her opening number in 2010 when the Steinway Grand Piano was dedicated to the memory of her husband, which meant a lot to her. So this recording is from her 25th anniversary Decca recording. And from there we'll go on. So enjoy.
I'm so happy to be here today to celebrate such a wonderful musician, pianist, and friend. A teacher, not just of music, but of life. And I'm grateful for all the lessons I learned. I did listen, even though it probably didn't seem like it to her. But anyway, I'm playing a piece because of Beethoven that she taught me for my senior recital many, many years ago. And 6 variations on Nel cor più non mi sento. And I thought I was going to come out here, but then I thought it would be too much like the Golden Girls, Sophia Petrillo. Picture it. SIU stage, October 18th, 1971. That was the first day I ever saw Miss Slenczynska and heard her perform. My first piano teacher brought me to hear her play an all Beethoven program. So I wanted to start with Beethoven. I hope you enjoy it.
Thank you so much for that lovely welcome, and it's so great to be here today, back in this theater where I spent many an hour practicing and playing on this stage. It's interesting. I think I may be the most senior member of all the group gathered today, which I came to SIU in 1966. And Ruth came to SIU in 1964. You can figure then how old I am, and I'm now over years old. And I was the first class to be in this building, so this particular hall and room has very special memories. I played that piece for you today just now because when they asked me what I was planning to do, I didn't really give it much thought. And then later it occurred to me that that's the piece I played to audition for Miss Slenczynska. And I thought it would be very meaningful because that day I played it sort of for her so that she could tell if I had the possibility to be a good student of hers. But now I feel like I was playing it to her. And it was a different experience. So I also want to say just a couple words about the Transatlantic Lullaby, which comes next. That's a piece that I had known for quite a while. I was a fan of this man named Billy Mayerl, who was a British pianist, dandy, kind of lovely guy that played this kind of music and also wrote a lot of this kind of music. This particular song today is, he took an existing song by Geoffrey Wright from a review in London in 1938 entitled Swinging the Gate. And Mr. Mayerl I've always thought of his music as very elegant. It's sort of a little bit jazzy, or I think it says a gentle swing, but it reminded me in some ways of the fact that Ruth, when I came here, she represented a certain kind of glamour in my life. I mean, I wasn't without other influences, including my own mother, but she had a special glamour. I mean, after all, she lived in Paris when she was a little girl. She spoke French. She traveled all over the world. She'd had 2 careers. She was in the midst of her second career. She had a beautiful home. She had an apartment on Fifth Avenue in New York, where I went many times in the early days, and then she moved a little bit further downtown. And it just reminded me of her in some ways. So I want to read just one line from the song, like not really a stanza, but this is what it's about. The song Manhattan, anyway, it says, soft Manhattan evenings fall, a velvet dusk envelops all. On Hudson River distant tugboats cry. Ship to ship and shore to shore, the waters make a shining floor and hum a transatlantic lullaby. And I think that's perfect for her because she was transatlantic in my book. She'd probably traveled on many a steamship. But before I leave you and go back to the piano, I want to share with you one other thing, which was about 6 months ago, I sent Miss Slenczynska an article from the New Yorker, and it was by one of their top critics in sort of homage to Brahms. And it was, his mother had recently died, and she loved Brahms, and he was talking about what it meant to him in her absence. And I sent it to Ruth, and she wrote back a most beautiful note to me. And I wasn't sure I quite knew what she meant when she said, I think his angle of vision isn't quite right. Well, who am I to ask her what she meant? But then she followed with this lovely note to me. She says, as an active worker in the world of performing arts, over the years, I've found that a great interpretation of any work often comes to the seeker by accident. Sometimes after years of working on a composition, after you've knocked on every door and know the answer before it's given, you hear a voice beckoning from somewhere that leads you into another world of understanding, distant from anything you've heard before, yet clear, sweet, inevitable, and yours. A magical acquisition that comes because the search has been so unrewarding for so long. So keep knocking on that door. Someday, without reason, a genius will answer. Happy birthday, Ruth.
Mr. Rachmaninoff once gave Ruth a lesson on the prelude I'm about to perform. He told her that when playing it, she should imagine apple trees. Many, many apple trees with pale pink blossoms and green leaves, fresh and tender. I think many of Ruth's former students would agree that this image beautifully reflects what she has given to us. We must find the blossoms and leaves in every piece of music, to recognize beauty, to welcome growth, and like she has done for all of us, to stand tall and give generously of oneself, like the apple tree. Thank you, Ruth, for all that you've taught me, and happy 100th birthday.
So I can't help myself to say a few words. I hope you will indulge me. As you know, I'm Mark Leverty, and I was a student of Ruth Slenczynska's. First of all, thank you for that warm applause. And it sounds like I'm real loud here, but I guess it's about normal out there. But in any event, Ruth, if you are watching, how are you? Happy birthday. I hope you are enjoying our performances, and mine as well. It's been a pleasure to play here for you all. The reason I chose to perform this prelude by Rachmaninoff is because it is one of his most famous and beloved pieces. And Ruth, of course, is one of the most famous and beloved students of Rachmaninoff's. Of course, as we all know, this monumental composer played a huge role in our beloved Ruth's musical education. And how precious are all the stories she has told us of her lessons with Monsieur Rachmaninoff, as she likes to call him. Although I didn't study this piece with Dr. Slenczynska, I thought it would be an important one to present due to her childhood lessons and association with this great composer. I'm so proud of my instruction and now my long friendship with Madame Slenczynska. To be sure, she is the greatest, most inspiring, and toughest of all my teachers, and I've had about a dozen or more, and she just is up there at the top. I often tell my students, colleagues, and friends that I am not just her student, but also a grand student, if you will, of Monsieur Rachmaninoff. I'm so grateful to know you, Ruth. If you are out there, if you're in California, sunny California, you are a tremendous blessing to me and to countless others, all the people here today. And God bless you and have a happy 100th birthday. Hope to see you soon. Thank you all.
My wife, Dr. Mary Jo Pembrook, and I will be performing the Italian polka for piano, four hands, composed by Miss Slenczynska's famous teacher, Sergei Rachmaninoff. This is a bit of a flashback experience for me. In January 2018, when Miss Slenczynska returned to SIUE to do a master class here in this very hall, I got a call from the music library that she had checked out this piece from their collection. We, the university, music department, Mary Jo and I, were planning a 93rd birthday party for her at our house that week. Based on her checking out the Rachmaninoff polka, someone at the library thought that she just might ask me to play the second part to entertain the guests that night. So they called to give me a heads up in case I was to be the second pianist. Now, I will say sometimes it's helpful to be chancellor and have friends in various places. And as it turned out, they were right. She did propose performing the piece that night. Fortunately, the SIUE library had a second copy, which I borrowed, so I could practice a bit before the event. The party came, and we both were ready to play this piece thanks to the music library staff. And now, 7 years later, playing the role and the notes of Miss Slenczynska and Sergei Rachmaninoff is my wife, Dr. Mary Jo Pembrook. We hope you enjoy it.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Marc Schapman, and I have the distinct honor of serving as the current chair of the Department of Music at Southern Illinois University, Edwardsville. On behalf of our faculty, staff, and students, I'd like to extend a heartfelt thank you for joining us for today's Centennial Celebration concert in honor of Ruth. This weekend has been a special time of reflection, performance, and community as we've celebrated Ruth's remarkable life, her distinguished career, and her lasting legacy here at SIUE. Ruth has touched the lives of so many through her artistry, her teaching, and her extraordinary generosity of spirit. As we look ahead, we are committed to ensuring that Ruth's presence continues to inspire and shape future generations of musicians at SIUE. One way you can help us carry out that legacy forward is by supporting our General Scholarship Fund. If today's performances have moved you and you'd like to see Ruth's influence continue in the lives of our students, we invite you to consider making a gift to the Department of Music. Donations from today's event will go directly towards supporting piano students, undergraduate, graduate, soloists, and chamber music alike. On the back of today's program, you'll find a QR code that will direct you to our Department of Music giving page. From there, you can select Fund 7078, Department of Music General Scholarship, and make a donation that will go directly towards supporting piano students. Once again, thank you for being a part of this memorable occasion. Thank you for celebrating Ruth with us, and thank you for continuing to support the future of music at SIUE.
I want to thank all of you for this lovely party. I'm having a good time. I hope you're all having a good time also, and that all kinds of loving things will come out of it. Bye for now.
Thought you were going to get rid of me. On behalf of the Department of Music and the entire community, we want to extend our deepest thanks to everyone who made today's event possible. First, a sincere thank you to the event planning team whose vision brought this meaningful gathering to life. To Therese, Alan, and Angela, your dedication to this concert is deeply appreciated. Thank you to the LIS team, especially Dean Marley Grazer, for support and for ensuring behind-the-scenes work ran smoothly. We are grateful for the additional support from Dean Kevin Leonard as well, and the College of Arts and Sciences, which continues to be a source of support for our musical endeavors. Another quick side note, there is also an exhibit on display in the library that is presented by Therese Dickman, and that is open today until 10 p.m. and continues to go through May 12th. Also, our appreciation also goes to the Graduate School, Interim Associate Dean Liz Calley for their support and partnership. A special thank you to the Department of Mass Communications and ITS for their invaluable technical expertise and wisdom. Thank you also to the Department of Theater and Dance for their collaborative spirit, and to the Music Alumni Network for hosting the reception following today's performance. Your support connects generations of SIUE musicians through your efforts. And of course, to our performers. Thank you for making the journey to be here. Your presence today honors Ruth in the most profound way possible, through music. And also, at the end of today's performance, if all of our performers would come to the stage, we would love to take a picture of all of today's performers. This event and this entire week has been a testament to the enduring power of music in the SIUE community. In moments of celebration, in times of reflection, and especially in periods of hardship, music has the ability to unite us, to uplift us, and to speak the words that we often cannot. Music is more than performance. It is presence. It reminds us of who we are and what we value. In difficult and trying times, it becomes our shared language, one that transcends backgrounds and beliefs. At SIUE, music is not just part of our curriculum, it is part of our soul. It connects faculty to students, alumni to mentors, and generations of performers to a legacy much larger than any one individual. Today, as we honor Ruth and reflect on her contributions, we are reminded that music is and always has been at the heart of this community. It carries us forward and holds us together. Thank you.
I want to underscore what we just heard from our chair, and that is if you are a performer today, please stay and we will get a picture. But I want to add one other thing. Anybody that is here today that in any point in your life studied with Ruth, if you could stay for a few minutes, we would like to get her students a picture of you as well. So if you're interested, stick around. Thank you.
Thank you.